And the Indian Sports Network is on the air. Good evening, everyone. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from Elsberry High School in Elsberry, Missouri. Tonight we got two games for you. I'll put them on two separate broadcasts. But the first game tonight is going to be your Elsberry Lady Indians versus the visiting Lutheran High School Lady Cougars. This is Lutheran High School in St. Charles. And they have a pretty good team this year. Looks like their record is 16-2 versus Elsberry's 9-4. So Elsberry's going to have to work pretty hard tonight, but they can do it. I've seen these girls out here working hard before, so they can definitely do it. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over well, I don't have the starting lineup, but let's go over the roster that was given to me. First, for the visiting Lutheran Lady Cougars, we have number 3, Sequoia Johnson. She's a 5'2" junior, or I'm sorry, sophomore. And I hope I get through these names right. Some of these are just a little bit not easy to pronounce. If I sneeze in the middle of it, it's part of the name. Number 10, Emily Skierston. She is a 5'7" senior. Number 11, Colleen Presser. She's a 5'8" junior. Number 12, Maya Lindesmith. She's a 5'5" freshman. Number 15, Jada Lindesmith, the 5'7" junior. Number 21, Rachel Lutz, a 5'9" junior. Number 22, Ashley Ernstmeyer, a 5'10" senior. Number 23, Corinne Van Gilder, 5'11" sophomore. Number 25, Ava Civi, a 5'6" sophomore. Number 30, Jenna Griskovic, something like that. That's the one I needed to sneeze. She's a 5'10" junior. And number 33, Mackenzie Coleman. She's a 5'6" junior. Now for your hometown Elsberry Lady Indians, we have number 2, Tanisha Henderson, affectionately known as Tiny. She is a sophomore. Number 4, Peyton Robinson, freshman. Number 5, Sophia Vaughn. She's a junior. Number 10, Claire Henry. She's a senior. Number 11, Ariel Rios. She's a freshman. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler. She's a freshman. Number 14, Abby Jenkins. She's a senior. Number 15, Josie Horn. She's a freshman. Number 20, Kelly Flaster. She's a senior. Kelsey Flaster. Did I say Kelly? I meant Kelsey. Number 24, Tess Weekly. She's a senior. Number 25, Megan Hegemeyer. She's a senior. Number 31, Kaija Clark. She's a senior. Number 32, Emma Flaster. She's a sophomore. Number 41, Adrian Ryan. She is a sophomore. Number 43, Tyra Henderson. She is a sophomore. And the Elsberry Lady Indians are head coaches Carrie Koch-Dowell and assisted by Brittany Koch-Dowell. Cheerleaders out here tonight for Elsberry's Jade Cooper, Haley King, Madison Steen, Isabel Bayless, Jordan Sir, Mercedes Laskowski, Briley King, Melody Hall, Gracie Mahurin, and Kara Rose King. Cheer coaches Carrie Braden and Faye Mays. I also need to mention that the Lutheran High School St. Charles Lady Cougars are coached by Aaron Lipschwager. Hope I got that name right. They have some pretty good names there for Lutheran St. Charles. I don't know if they recruited their team based on names or what. But as you can see out here, I got the camera on the Lady Indian girls. I guess Lady Indian girls is a bit redundant, being redundant all over again. So anyway, you can see them practicing. We also have the captains speaking with the coaches and the referees, putting down some ground rules for the game. So we got about a little over 3 minutes to go before the game starts. So how about if we do a few commercials? I also want to mention that between the games tonight is this is homecoming night for Elsberry. So between the games, they'll have the homecoming ceremonies, festivities, whatever you want to call it. And I will try to put as much of that as I can on here. I don't have all the information on who is who and whatever, but I'll tell you what I can. So anyway, until the game starts here in another 2.5 minutes, let's take a commercial break.
Since 1995, in all types. Since 1990, Heartland Restoration has specialized in masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience. Someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And we are back. As I'm assuming at this point in time, we're getting ready to do the starting lineups for the two teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
And right now we're going to do the national anthem.
Under the direction of Rebecca.
And thank you to the Elsberry High School Band for that rendition of our national anthem.
For the 2019 homecoming game between Lutheran High School and your Elsberry Indians. First, let's see the starting lineups for the visiting Lutheran team.
So here's a starting lineup for Lutheran High School.
Number 11, Colleen Preuser.
Number 11, Colleen Preuser.
7 junior guard. Number 15, Jada Linsmith.
Number 15, Jada Linsmith.
5'11 senior at guard.
Number 22, Ashley Ernstmeyer.
6-foot junior post player. Number 30, Jenna Griskowiak.
Number 30, Jenna Griskowiak.
Number 33, Mackenzie Coleman.
And number 33, Mackenzie Coleman. That's the starting lineup for Lutheran St. Charles. And now for your hometown, Elsberry Lady Indians. Number 10, Claire Henry.
A 5'8" sophomore guard, number 12,
Kylie Kinsler, number 12.
5'9" senior guard,
Number 15, Josie Horn.
5'7" senior at guard,
Number 24, Tess Weekly.
And a 5'10" senior in the post,
Number 25, Megan Hagemeyer. And that is the starting lineup for your Elsberry Lady Indians. Now, as we get ready to start this game, get the camera adjusted here. Try to get some paperwork in front of me so I can at least look like I'm organized. But anybody that knows me knows better than that. So the Lutheran team is out there. Looks like it's going to be Jenna Griskowiak jumping. She's going to be jumping against Claire Henry. And we are ready to go. Here is the first game. Ball quickly to Tess Weekly. She has it on the outside, slows it up. She starts to drive in. And the ball is stolen by Lutheran. And they go up 2-0 on a fast break. Ill-advised pass there. So Weekly brings it up again. Weekly from the outside, sinks it for 3 points. Elsberry with the early 3-2 lead. There was a hook. Rebound by Lutheran. Three-pointer attempted. Here's a long two-pointer, no good. And Claire Henry blocked that shot, but it went out against her. All of the offensive rebounds belong to Lutheran. And that ball was stripped by Tess Weekly. She slows it down. Then she just drives right in and draws a foul while she's doing it. Shot was no good, but she does go up for 2 shots. All important free throws. First shot is up and off the front of the rim. Second shot is up, and it's good. 4-2 Elsberry. And Lutheran gets the ball down inside in the paint and puts it up for 2 points. That ties up the score at 4. Is Weekly bringing it up. Passes it, cross-court pass went right to the Lutheran player. She kind of tripped up a little bit, and in trying to get her footing again, she traveled. Ball's turned over to Elsberry. Weekly brings it up. Ball was off the back of the backboard. On the outside, three-point attempt, and it's good. That was Jada Lindesmith with the three-pointer. Puts Lutheran ahead 7-4. Elsberry need to watch their passes. That pass was tipped. And Tess Weekly threw that one away over the hands of whoever that was going for. That was going for Kylie Kinsler, I believe. So with a 7-4 lead, Lutheran brings it up court. Cross-court pass. Here's a two-pointer, and it's good. Meanwhile, we have Tiny Henderson in. She's into the game now. Tiny and Tyra both. Tiny puts the ball up, and it's good. Lutheran on the outside, they do some long passes. There was a foul called on Tiny Henderson. Not really, I didn't see the foul itself, so I didn't see exactly what she did. They're just keeping it on the outside. All these long passes. They're hitting them from the baseline, too. Who is that? 33, that's Mackenzie Coleman. Pretty good shot from there on the baseline. And there we go. There was Tyra Henderson right underneath for 2 points. Lutheran gets it in low. And there's Megan Hegemeyer with the rebound. Here comes Tess Weekly. She's just going to drive it right in. And that ball was just stripped right out of her hand. And she traveled. That was Jada Lindesmith. She took a couple of stutter steps in there, and they caught her for traveling. So here's Kinsler to throw it in to Tiny Henderson. And pass along the baseline. It was intended for Megan Hegemeyer, and it was out of bounds. So another turnover. These girls need to stop with the turnovers. There's a three-pointer. Off the inside of the rim, no good, and Tiny comes up with the rebound. And she's taking it up the court and then slows it down once she gets across the timeline. Gets it into Hegemeyer and tried to get it low to Weekly. She was actually fouled, but they didn't call it. So Elsberry has it out of bounds underneath, gets it into Weekly. He drives in, takes a long two-pointer, no good, and Lutheran up with the rebound. And they've got numbers coming down. And there was once again with the offensive rebounds. Elsberry is doing very little rebounding on the defensive end of the court. There's a three-pointer by Tiny Henderson, and it's good. I saw her practicing some three-pointers before the game, hitting them. Get it into the paint and down low to, that was Mackenzie Coleman for another 2 points from right underneath. 1:59 remaining in the first quarter. 15-11, Lutheran over Elsberry. And that pass was stolen. Another turnover. And traveling was called. And here's a timeout taken by Elsberry. Let's take a quick break.
Everybody knows that high school sports.
Okay, that wasn't a timeout. My mistake. I thought it was. They were just giving the ball out of bounds over there, and they pointed it at the bench. So Elsberry's going around the horn. Tiny goes to take it in over to, there's another three-pointer, and it's good. Tiny Henderson's on fire with the three-pointers tonight, 15-14. Less than a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Despite all the turnovers, the Elsberry girls are staying in this game. And there was a turnaround hook shot by Jenna Griskovic. I hate it that she's doing so good tonight. I can't pronounce her name. And that ball was taken right out of her hand. There's the long two-pointer, and it's good. If there's anything Elsberry needs to do to get this game back in hand, it's control the turnovers. Tiny's bringing it up. Gets it over to Josie Horn. She throws it back and out of bounds. Another turnover. 24.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 19-14. Lutheran St. Charles over Elsberry. Long three-pointer. No good. And offensive rebound by Lutheran. That was Ashley Ernstmeyer. She was fouled by Claire Henry, her first foul. First free throw is up and no good. Weekly's coming in and Josie Horn's coming out. Second free throw. And we've got a lane violation. The free throw was no good, but Tess Weekly jumped the gun just a little bit. So the third attempt, and it is good. Costly jumping the gun. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Tiny brings it up. Over to Weekly. 5 seconds. Somebody better shoot. Desperation shot there by Weekly, and it was no good. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is Lutheran St. Charles 20, Elsberry 14. Let's finish this commercial.
Generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, as we get ready for the second quarter of this game. Lutheran takes it out on the alternating possessions. They get the ball in deep. Little sky hook there. And that foul was called on Emily Skirston over the back. There was Tess Weekly right underneath with 2 points. Good passing and shooting that time. There we go. Tess Weekly jumped in front of that one. And little ball control trouble there for Tiny, and she traveled. And Elsberry decides to put on a press. Lutheran broke through that pretty easy. And they called her for traveling. I thought they might call an offensive foul because she went into her with her elbow, but they called traveling. Turnover, but not quite as harmful. Little ball control problems there. There's Weekly with the three-pointer. Megan Hegemeyer in there for an offensive rebound, but that was tied up into a jump ball. That ball should stay with Elsberry. Kinsler comes out and Tyra Henderson comes in. Tess Weekly is just going to drive it on in. She's having some trouble with the ball. And that rebound went to Lutheran. Elsberry just can't seem to get much in the way of rebounds. I say these Lutheran girls do have, wow. There was some extra ability out there. Tess Weekly broke that one up. Three-pointer, no good, and there's Claire Henry with the rebound. Henderson girls playing pitch and catch. There was a shot for, oh, look at that. There was Tyra Henderson right there, puts it up after Megan Hegemeyer saved the ball from going out of bounds. Two-pointer is good for Lutheran. That's Ashley Ernstmeyer. 4-point lead, 22-18 for Lutheran. That pass was broken up. Lutheran's coming back strong. Ball's put up by Jenna Grasik, yeah, whoever her name is. Griskovac. Really don't want to mispronounce her name. Elsberry really needs to. They need to watch their passes. There was a shot attempt by Tyra. And they are all over her. Wow. I'll say one thing, they're letting them play. I've been to some games where there would have been about 35 fouls there, just as long as they're consistent. And there was a foul there on 33. That's Mackenzie Coleman. That's her first foul. This is an aggressive game, but it's not a rough game. They're playing clean. They're just letting them play. The ball's taken right out of her hand. There was a rebound by Claire Henry, and she was fouled. That foul was on Ashley Ernstmeyer. It's her first. That Kylie Kinsler was out as point guard. Now it's Tess Weekly. She gets it in. But now they get it right back out again. There's Tiny with the shot, and it's no good. There's a two-point shot, no good. A lot of scramble for the ball. Right underneath, and that was Jenna Griskovac. So Lutheran has pulled out to a 26-18 lead with 3:22 remaining in the first half. Full timeout for Elsberry. Let's take a break.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Kylie Kinsler has the ball out of bounds into Tess Weekly. 3:18 remaining in the first half. Long cross-court pass. Those have been very dangerous. And that ball was off of Megan Hagemeyer, so it goes over to Lutheran again. Still a press being put on by Elsberry, but Lutheran breaks the press pretty quick. Two-point shot, no good. Weekly's bringing it up the court. Get the ball in deep to Hagemeyer, back out to Weekly. Here's long two-pointer for Tiny Henderson, and it's good. Here's a three-pointer for Lutheran, and it's good. 29-20. A little over 2 minutes remaining. Get the ball into Hagemeyer, back out to Kinsler on the point. There's Tiny. She's going to get it over to Weekly. Pass is broken up. And Lutheran got their arms in there and got a jump ball. And on alternating possessions, that goes over to Lutheran. Elsberry's putting on a half-court press now. There was right underneath for Lutheran. They've stretched out an 11-point lead now. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Elsberry's just doing too many turnovers. Their shots have been decent. There's Kinsler trying to drive in. There was no place for her to go. Another bad pass, and she was in for the 2 points. So with less than a minute remaining in the first half, Tiny has it out on the point. Another bad pass. So now Kinsler brings up with that missed opportunity there for Lutheran. Another jump ball. This one ought to go to Elsberry now. 16.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Making a wholesale change here. Claire Henry comes in. Peyton Robinson comes in. Weekly has the ball out of bounds. Okay, they got the ball into Claire Henry. She was fouled on her shot attempt, so she's going to the line with 2 free throws. First one is up and good. Second one is up and no good. Rebound by Lutheran. And there was a shot up by Emily Skierston. And that buzzer is the end of the first half of this ball game, with Lutheran St. Charles leading your Elsberry Lady Indians by a score of 35-21. Let's take a break.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Missouri's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird looks showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
You're listening to the Indian Sports Network, courtesy of the Elsberry Democrat. Log on to www.elsberrydemocrat.com today.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust invites everyone to come to the game, the high school sports games that are going on right now. All area teams have put a great amount of effort and time in to perfect their skills, and they are ready to play. Support the community schools and students by cheering them on to a great season of games. People's Bank and Trust proudly supports the area teams and looks forward to seeing you at each and every game.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We take the time to know you and your healthcare needs. Most prescriptions are filled in 15 minutes or less, and we offer free local delivery and a friendly and knowledgeable staff to answer your questions. Better service, better value, better healthcare. Locally owned and operated and proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com. Hi, my name is Jerry Callahan, pharmacist and owner of the medicine shops in Troy and Elsberry Pharmacy. We strive every day to bring better service, better value, and better health care to our friends in our communities. We want to say thank you for your support, and we're proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
And we are back for the second half of this ball game. This has been, well, it's been a decent game. Elsberry just has been way too many turnovers. And that has contributed a lot to Lutheran having a 14-point lead coming into this second half. 35-21. Elsberry is by no means out of this game, though. They have been playing well other than the bad passing. But at the same time, I don't want to take anything away from Lutheran. They are the ones getting in front of the passes. So they're doing a good job. I can't just say that the only reason Lutheran's ahead is because Elsberry's not playing up to their potential. Lutheran has a very good team out there. They're really good on their shots. And so we have Lutheran with the ball now. They're able to penetrate too. They like that baseline shot. All the way over. They do a good job of passing that ball around. There you go, Kylie. Kylie Kinzer got in there and broke that one up. So Ashley Ernstmeyer takes it out of bounds. Here's a three-pointer up and no good. And there was Josie Horn with the rebound. Weekly brings it up the court. Gets it into Claire Henry. Back out to Megan Hagemeyer. Over to Josie Horn. Back out to Kylie. There's a shot and it's good. That was Claire Henry. 2 points. Cuts it to a 12-point lead. Cross-court passing for Lutheran. And now Elsberry's breaking up Lutheran's passes. There's Tess Weekly bringing it up. She was just a little bit out of control, but she did draw the foul. She knows what she's doing on that. She made sure she didn't get an offensive foul on her. That foul was on Jada Lindesmith. That's her second. First free throw is good. Second free throw is off the back of the rim. There's a three-pointer for Tess Weekly, and it's good. And just like that, Elsberry's back to within 8 points. And there you go. There's Tess Weekly breaking that one up. And she got underneath and was trying to get the ball up, and she did get the ball up and didn't draw the foul, but the ball is out of bounds against Lutheran. So these girls came out of here with a different point of view. Now, if they can just watch their own passing. Just like I was talking about. Now, there's a jump ball. It's going to go over to Lutheran on the alternating possessions. Nope, I'm wrong. It stays with Elsberry. There's a two-pointer for Claire Henry. And on the rebound, we have a foul. Okay, that foul was, okay, boy, I'm getting all confused here. That foul was against Lutheran. It was on 33. It's her second. That bad pass in. That foul was on Tess Weekly. That's her first. Nobody's in any kind of foul trouble right now. Free throw's up and it's good. Who is that on the line? That is Jada Lindesmith on the line. Second free throw's no good, and Lutheran comes up with the rebound. And it went through everybody's legs, and they're calling it out of bounds on Elsberry, so it stays with Lutheran. And who is that? That's Josie, or Claire Henry. Got hit pretty hard with an elbow in the face. She's going to be okay. That was an inadvertent foul. That was in no way intentional. Both teams are doing a pretty good job this second half of breaking up the passes. There's Tyra Henderson, gets it into Tess Weekly. She tried a three-pointer, but it was blocked. And there was Josie Horn in for 2 points. She just bulled her way in there. And Elsberry came up with that. Here's Tess Weekly. Was going to drive it in. She changed her mind. And a bench timeout for Elsberry before that 5-second was called. We'll just stay right here. We got through all the commercials once during the halftime, so we'll just stay right here because I wouldn't have time to get the next one's a 1 minute. No, it's a 30-second commercial. That's all right. We'll get it next time. Still plenty of time for commercials. Nobody wants to hear them anyway. So with a score of 36-29, Elsberry has a little more life in this third quarter than what they had in the first two quarters. They're looking a little better. They are not out of this game by any means. And they are playing a very good Lutheran team. And Tyra went up for a shot, and it was blocked. Came down to a Lutheran player. They bring it up the court. Cross-court pass. Here's the three-pointer. No good. Very quickly called jump ball there. And that puts it in Lutheran's hand again. Oh, Lutheran's playing catch out on the outside, out beyond the three-point line. Long cross-court pass. Get the ball in. No good for the shot. Kylie Kinsler up with the rebound, gets it to Tess Weekly. She brings it up the court. And that ball they said was off of Lutheran. No possible way it was off of Lutheran. That ball was tipped twice. I'm sorry, they said it was off of Elsberry. That ball was tipped twice by Lutheran. Here's a three-point attempt, no good. And there's Josie Horn up with the rebound. Weekly just take it right in. And both shots by Elsberry. Weekly and then Tyra Henderson. Both shots were no good. Lutheran up with that rebound. They bring it down the court. And there's a foul. I believe it's going to be on Megan Hegemeyer. Yes, it is. That's on Megan Hegemeyer. It's her first. It puts Jenna Griskowski. Griskowiak at the line. Why can't they have a name like Smith? First shot was good. Second shot is no good. And Josie Horn comes up with the rebound. Gets it over to Weekly. She brings it up the court. There's Megan Hegemeyer at the free throw line. These Elsberry girls are having trouble getting the passes over. There's definite height advantage for Lutheran. And there was Tyra on the outside with a shot, and it was no good. And Elsberry's coming up with these rebounds now. It's what they couldn't do in the first half, but they are doing it now in the second half. What was that? They called a foul on Lutheran. Wow. Some of these, they're letting them go, and some of them, that was a very weak foul. The foul was on Colleen Prusser. It's her first. Here's Tiny Henderson way out at the half-court line. Gets it into Weekly. Shot was no good. And Tyra was up with the rebound. And I guess they called a jump ball there. So Tiny had the ball, gets it inside to Claire Henry. All right, they just take it back outside to Tess Weekly on the point. There's Tiny. Tries to get it into, she got it into Claire Henry. I'm not sure what all they're calling here. That was on Mackenzie Coleman. That's her third foul, so she's in a little bit of foul trouble. There's Tess Weekly with the three-pointer, no good, and the rebound goes over to Lutheran, and she just drives in and gets her 2 points on the layup and draws a foul. That foul was on Tiny Henderson. It's her second. Free throw is up and bounces in. 40-29, 11-point lead with a little over a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. And that was a foul called on Colleen Presser, I believe. They get the ball in to Tess Weekly. Back out to Tiny. Over to her sister. Kylie Kinsler dribbling the ball. Get the ball in deep to Claire Henry. She bounced it off the back of the backboard, so they reset up. And through all of that, Lutheran comes up with the ball. And bad pass there, comes up in the hands of Tyra Henderson. And she just handed that ball right over to Lutheran. And that was Griskoivak. I think I'll just call her Jenna. Darn good player, we know that. There was a shot for Kylie Kinsler. Not there, and rebound by Lutheran. Tess Weekly comes up with the rebound from the other end. And that's the end of the third quarter. Elsberry kind of fell apart a little bit there at the last couple of minutes of that quarter. But score at the end of 3. 42 Lutheran South and 29 Elsberry. Take a break.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, and we begin the fourth quarter of this game. Once again, the score, Lutheran South 42 and the Elsberry Lady Indians 29. Right now we have 6 team fouls against the Lady Cougars and 3 team fouls against Elsberry. Lutheran keeping it on the outside. They take a shot. Once again, Lutheran getting all of the offensive rebounds. And that foul was on Claire Henry. That's her second. That puts Jenna on the line. First free throw is no good. Second free throw is good. 43-29. And Elsberry looking for just anything to put up. And Elsberry's gone pretty cold on their shooting. They started off the game pretty hot in shooting, but they've definitely cooled off. And there was a three-pointer. That was Ashley Ernstmeyer. Takes Lutheran to a 17-point lead. That shot by Claire Henry was blocked. Bad pass, but they recovered it before it went out of bounds. And looks like that foul was on Tess Henry. That's her second. Free throw up and no good. Second free throw is good. 47-29. Elsberry's gone a while without any points. They tried getting it in. Out of all of that, they called a foul. That foul was on Emily Skierston. That puts Megan Hegemeyer at the line for a 1-and-1. That's 3 on Skierston, 3 fouls. First shot is no good. And Lutheran with the rebound, but Tess Weekly tried to break the pass up and couldn't quite do it. That rebound was by Weekly. She tried getting the ball in deep to Henderson, and it was not there. And timeout called by Lutheran South. Take a break.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
And we are back. 5:41 remaining in this ball game. 47-29, Lutheran over Elsberry. Should say Lutheran St. Charles over Elsberry. Lutheran has the ball, bringing it up the court. No press by Elsberry. And rebound by Megan Hegemeyer. Tess Weekly brings it up. She drives it in, gets it to, she got it to Tyra Henderson. That shot was not good. Layup by Colleen Prusser. Another 2 points. Another bad pass. Lutheran just holds it up. There was a three-point attempt that hit the cables, so it was out of bounds. The ball did go in, actually, but not before it hit the cables, and that's considered out of bounds. So Tess Weekly brings it up with 4.5 minutes remaining in the game. Claire Henry throws the ball up from the free throw line, or to the side of the free throw line. No good. Elsberry hadn't gotten any points for quite a while. And we have a traveling called on Lutheran. And that ball was mishandled. That was Kelsey Flaster. She mishandled the ball and it went out of bounds. Back to Lutheran. And that ball stolen right out of the air. And at the other end, the ball was fumbled around and Lutheran comes up with it. Long two-pointers, no good. Kelsey Flaster tries to save it. So we have Josie Horn throwing it in to Tiny Henderson. Once again, pass was mishandled. Megan Hegemeyer broke up that one, but it went out of bounds off of her. Kelsey Plaster with the rebound, gets it over to Tiny Henderson. She brings it up the court. 3 minutes remaining. That rebound was brought in by Megan Hegemeyer, and she was fouled. First shot is no good. Don't like to keep harping on this, but I don't know how many minutes it's been since Elsberry scored a point. They've been at 29 for a long time. There we go. There's 30. 49-30, 2:49 remaining in the game. Lutheran's bringing it up the court. Long two-pointer, no good. Claire Henry up with the rebound. Tiny Henderson brings it up. Gets it over to Josie Horn. She puts it up, and it's no good. And Kelsey Flaster tried to save it from going out of bounds. No, I'm sorry, that was, yeah, Kelsey Flaster. I said it right. Thought I was wrong, but made a mistake. Pass broken up by Claire Henry. She looked at a shot there. And there's Kelsey Flaster. Broke that one up. And ran right into a Lutheran player and comes up with a jump ball. Less remaining. Kelsey Flaster with a three-point attempt. It was no good. Out of bounds off of Elsberry over to Lutheran. And that ball stolen out of the air by Claire Henry. Got the pass in deep to Kelsey Flaster, and she was fouled, so she goes to the line for 2 shots. First shot is no good off the inside of the rim. Sophia Vaughn. Second shot is no good. What I was going to say is Sophia Vaughn and Abby Jenkins are in the game now. A little over a minute remaining. Lutheran passing it around. They know how to make those passes. And that ball is rebounded to Ariel Rios. And bad pass goes off of Sophia Vaughn. So it goes over to Lutheran with 49.3 seconds remaining. Tried to drive the baseline, and Peyton Robinson was in the way. Half a minute remaining. Drives the baseline again, gets away with an offensive foul. There's a shot from just outside the free throw line. Rebounded by Elsberry. And that's Abby Jenkins bringing it up. 6 seconds remaining in the game. It's a long shot, no good. And with that buzzer, that's the end of the game. Final score, Lutheran St. Charles 49, Elsberry 30. So, at this point in time, really not a whole lot to say about that game. That makes Lutheran St. Charles 17-2. And that makes the Lady Indians 9-5. But that game was against a very, very good Lutheran team. Those girls were very impressive on how they played. So, between the games here, I'm going to shut it down for a little bit. And I think they're getting ready to do the homecoming ceremony, so I will put that on here also. So, saying goodbye from this game at this point in time, and I'll be back in a few minutes. This is Kenny Masterson for the Indian Sports Network. Good night, everybody, from the girls' game. All right, what we have now is, I'm not really positive what this is. It's a dedication to Kenny Yeomans and his family. By the way, this is Kenny Masterson. I'm here at Elsberry High School on the 18th of January. And this is between the girls and the boys game. They're going to be doing homecoming ceremonies.
Kenny and his wife Joanne have been married for 39 years, and they have 2 children, Patrick and Kenna, and 7 grandchildren. Everyone who knows Kenny knows that he's never met a stranger, and that he's had a tremendous impact on the Elsberry community over the past 20 plus years. As most of you know, Kenny was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Please stand and join me in showing Kenny how much we appreciate everything he has done for our district.
Well, I don't know how much of that you all heard, but this is a dedication to Kenny Yeomans and his family, who apparently, I'm afraid I have to plead ignorance on this. I don't know much about this, but apparently he was a coach up here and just all-around good employee of the school district, recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and they're showing their appreciation for him. Handed him a plaque. And I apologize that we're behind all of this. You're seeing everything from backstage. So, I don't know if they are going to do the... Okay, they are getting ready to do the homecoming ceremonies. So I'll just stay on the air here for this. They're going to set up the homecoming stage, homecoming court, whatever you want to call it. And I will pre-apologize right now. I don't have any of the names of any of the homecoming court. So I'll try my best to relay them as I hear them. And over there is where they're going to be coming in. I only know that because I heard him say so. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit. Put it up here for this. Going to take it back down. This cord is not, I think you're seeing it blacking out a little bit. This equipment's going to be need to be worked on a little bit during the off season. So it looks like the homecoming court is getting ready to come in.
Thanks, Elsberry, for being here with us tonight to represent and crown a king and queen for homecoming. First, we're going to bring in our retiring king and queen.
Okay, the retiring king and queen.
The king is Josh Rakowski, and our queen, Haley King.
Okay, the retiring queen, Haley King. I think I know her dad. And Josh Rakowski or something like that.
Next up tonight is our gift bearer. She is going to be the class of 2030. She's first grader, Courtney Koch. Courtney is the daughter of Dickie and Meredith Koch.
Okay, we have a first grader. I forgot her first name, but she's a Koch.
And now to this year's court. Representing the freshman class, we have Joel Mound and Abby Jenkins.
Okay, for the freshman class, Joel Mound and Abby Jenkins.
The daughter of Roger and Amanda Seeley and Richard Jenkins. Representing the sophomore class,
And the sophomore class,
Jamie Lopez Amont and Riley King. Jamie's host family
Lopez
Eisenbach.
and Briley King.
Riley is the daughter of Timmy King and Lena Woodson.
So we have two King sisters out there. That's the sophomore class.
Now to represent our junior class, we have Dakota Thornhill and Madison Steen.
Dakota Thornhill and Madison Steen.
And Tori Thornhill. And Madison Steen is the daughter of Candace and Jeremy Steen. And last but not least, to represent our senior class,
Senior class.
our senior boy, Hunter Grills, and our senior girl, Tess Weekly.
And this is Hunter Grills
The son of Jason
and
Carol
Tess
Grills.
Weekly.
Sorry, Carla Grills. Tess Weekly is the daughter of Lynn and Marvin Weekly.
And there is your homecoming court.
Good job, Courtney.
That was Courtney Koch.
And the moment you've all been waiting for, your 2023
The winner is
King and Queen. First for the King, Hunter Grills.
Hunter Grills is the homecoming king.
And our 2019 homecoming queen, Tess Weekly.
And Tess Weekly, the softball and basketball star, is the 2019 homecoming queen. Congratulations to Tess Weekly and Hunter Grills. Not a whole lot to say here. As soon as they get done taking pictures, I'm going to cut this broadcast off. And I'll have a separate broadcast for the boys game coming up. When they start the clock, it'll be 15 minutes. It's supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but it'll be a few minutes late. But they'll give them some time, so we'll take a break in here. So join me back again as soon as they start this game. Once again, bringing you the homecoming festivities. This is Kenny Masterson saying good night for now.